When Asha Daniels walked into the marketing firm of Langford Roth, she didn't expect the air to be so cold, not in temperature, but in attitude. She was hired as a mid-level strategist, but it didn't take long for her to notice the difference in how she was treated. Asha, a brilliant black woman with an MBA from Howard and 3 internships under her belt, quickly found herself boxed into smaller projects while newer white male hires leapfrogged past her. At first, she tried to justify it. Maybe they had different backgrounds. Maybe she was just paying her dues. But soon, the pattern was impossible to ignore. During team meetings, when she shared ideas, her suggestions were met with silence, only to be praised when repackaged by her white male colleagues. Her direct manager, Grant Wilcox, seemed especially dismissive. Tall, silver-haired, and always in expensive suits, Grant had a reputation for being old school. He didn't bother to learn her name for weeks and referred to her as young lady in front of clients. One day, Asha stayed late to finish a campaign presentation for a major client, a tech startup looking to launch a national rebrand. She poured her entire soul into the pitch. Graphs, taglines, trend predictions, every detail was perfect. When she submitted it to Grant, he barely looked up. "Thanks, I'll take it from here," he said. Asha watched in disbelief as, in the client meeting the next morning, Grant presented her work almost word for word. He gave no credit. He even stumbled through certain parts she had meticulously practiced. When the client clapped enthusiastically, Grant smirked and said, "Glad you liked my vision." That night, she went home and cried. She confided in her best friend, Nia, who told her, "You need to document everything. This isn't just frustrating, it's theft. It's racism. And it's wrong." Asha began keeping a journal. Every time Grant dismissed her, took credit for her work, or passed her over for a promotion, she loved it. She also began quietly building a case for herself, not just a legal one, but a professional one. She began networking more aggressively, offering strategic suggestions during company-wide brainstorming sessions that couldn't easily be erased or stolen. Her visibility grew, and people began to notice her intelligence, her creativity, and most importantly, her results. Then came the promotion. The company announced they were looking for a new director of strategy. Asha had the numbers. Her campaigns had increased client engagement by 63% on average. She had testimonials from clients, a spotless record, and more experience than most others applying. She submitted her name. 2 weeks later, Grant called her into his office. His tone was cold, condescending. "I'm going to be honest with you," he said. "This position might not be the right fit for someone like you. It requires leadership, polish, presence." Asha didn't blink. "What do you mean by someone like me, Grant?" He chuckled. "Come on, don't play the victim card. You're talented, sure, but you just don't have the same pedigree." That was the last straw. Asha filed a formal complaint with HR, not just about the promotion, but about the year of mistreatment, credit theft, and subtle discrimination. She attached files, emails, meeting notes, calendar invites, journal entries. Her report was explosive. While the investigation began, Asha quietly started interviewing elsewhere. Within weeks, she received an offer from a rival firm, but not just any offer. They wanted her as VP of Strategic Development, a 6-figure salary, stock options, full creative control. They said her reputation in the industry was rising fast, and they wanted to be the first to snatch her up. She accepted. Before leaving Langford Roth, she did one final thing. At the quarterly meeting, where she was supposed to give her goodbye speech, she instead used the stage to tell the truth. Without naming names, she described her experience. She spoke clearly and calmly about how racism and sexism often wear suits and ties, how gatekeeping happens behind smiles and fake praise, and how she learned to stop asking for permission and start taking what she deserved. The room was silent. Grant turned red. Executives avoided eye contact, but younger employees, especially women of color, nodded. Some even cried. After the meeting, a few approached her, thanking her for giving them the courage to finally speak up too. 6 months later, Langford Roth made headlines, not for a campaign, but for the discrimination lawsuit filed by multiple employees. Inspired by Asha's departure, Grant was quietly let go. and the company issued a vague statement about restructuring. Meanwhile, Asha's new firm landed the biggest contract in its history, a tech startup worth $80 million. Asha led the strategy. She didn't just get revenge. She rewrote the rules.